I wanted to jump on this trend of like, I had a stud tell me, I had a femme tell me. Mine is gonna be, I had a mask tell me. So this first one is kind of like, I had a mask ask me, I guess. I don't know. But I met this girl on a dating app, and the first time we hung out, like the only time we hung out, she had told me that she was in the state that I live in for rehab, and it didn't seem like the rehab was working. So, and I'm not into that. So like that was gonna be the only date we went on. But then like a few months later, out of the blue, I got a call from her, and she asked me if I stole her car from her job, if I committed grand theft. I ain't never had a crackhead. My bad. The next one is, I had a max tell me that when she goes on a date with women, she expects them to wear heels. A bitch, put them on then. And so this next one is an ex, and me and this ex had broken up, this mask, and I'd found out that she had been sleeping with my, at the time, really good friend, almost a best friend, and I was pissed. And so I confronted said friend, and obviously I'm not about to come easy on you, because what? And then I guess that friend went to the mask and told her the things that I said, and she was crying and upset. And that mask asked me why I had to be so mean. And this is gonna be my last one for today, but I used to bartend at a gentleman's club, and there were a lot of like rumors and things that would go around there, and I found them interesting. So, you know, naturally when I would get off of work, I would call the person I was dating at the time. We were long distance, and I was telling her that some not so legal activities were going on in the club that involved. And for money, she asked if I was one of the people who was doing it. When I tell y'all, these bitches all had me fucked up.
Girl, they really did. Like, that was, ooh, girl, the first one. What do you mean? We dated once. We went on one date, and you think I stole your car? Let's be so for real right now. And then your girl sleeping with your best friend, but had the audacity to tell you that you need to be nice to your best friend? I don't, like, she better be glad I didn't lay my hands on both of y'all. Like, what are we doing? Betrayal. Like, okay, whatever, you cheated on me, but you my best friend, bruh. You supposed to be here even after she leaves. Girl, and the heels? That's cute. Like, she said, put them on. Like, same rules apply. Like, we two girls. Come on now. That's wild. I got my shirt on. Cookie muncher. Get this shirt, cop this shirt. But yeah, friend, your mask had you all the way freaked up. I told y'all I talked to a mask as a part of a throuple. Like, I was their unicorn, and I was just like, girl, she is too sensitive. Like, I'm sensitive. I know that. So to say you're more sensitive than me, too sensitive, me saying that says a lot. Says a lot, honey. Says a lot. But yeah, friend, I'm pretty sure she, you know, steers clear of mask. But can you blame her?
Okay, so I'm doing a story time because I have time to kill into my classes. So I'm recently single. We'll talk about that later. And I'm like on the apps, but it like clearly states that I am not looking for anything serious right now because I am just out of a 4-year relationship. So I get a message from this man, and I instantly recognize him because he's like a gay influencer. Should have been sign number fucking 1. And like out the gate, just like love bombing me. He's like, oh my god, you're so attractive, you're so cute, I really hate talking on this app, can I add you on Instagram, can I text you? And I'm like, okay. And again, not looking for anything serious, but my last relationship left me like in the dumps about my self-confidence. So I'm like, I'll take this attention wherever I can get it right now. So then we're like texting for like days on end, and not days on end, like 3 days. and we're talking about his like content and like what he does, and he's like, oh my gosh, like take everything that I like, all the content that you see on my Instagram, just like take it with a grain of salt. Same thing on my TikTok, like it's all just like funny videos, like none of it's serious. And there was like stuff on there about like, I don't know, just like being gay and like, you know, whatever, just like gay storytelling. And he's like trying to set up a date for us to hang out, and I'm like, I don't really know if I'm ready to go on a date, but like I'll take this attention, which again, my fault, my B. And so he's like trying to set up a date with me, and it gets to be like the weekend. And I teach super early classes on the weekends. I teach all fucking morning. Like I'm up at like 5 a.m. on Saturdays, and then I teach until like 12, and then I usually like knock the fuck out when I get home. So he had like texted me on Friday night after I already fell asleep, and then I passed out Saturday afternoon after my classes, and then just like forgot. And then the next day I was like, oh, like, hey, like, how was your Saturday? No response. And then because I'm dumb, I was like, oh, I'll text them again on Sunday evening, be like, hey, how was your weekend? No response. And then I go and look, and this man who was love bombing me for almost a week made me unfollow him on Instagram, unfollowed me, and then used me as content and was like, here's the thing about me. If you're going to text, not respond to my text message, and then the next day try to follow up and be like, how was your weekend? I'm not giving you my energy. Bitch, what? So A, shouldn't have taken your content with a grain of salt because you used me to get content and views. And secondly, that was the universe being like, bitch, sit the fuck down. You're not ready to be talking to anybody like this. Which, agreed.
Look, I had to literally be like, wait, am I a gay influencer? No, I'm an influencer that just happens to be gay. Just happens. Like, it's not my identity. Like, I'm an influencer that just so happens to be a black woman. Just so happens. Like, it just happened like that. That had me laughing because, like, I couldn't imagine all the things I've heard about the horrors of dating an influencer. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because honestly, you are my content. If we date and it's a bad date, oh heck yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Heck yeah, because I need to warn people. Like, hey, this is something new that happened to me because there's a lot of things. I got a lot of stories. So if you get on my channel, ooh, you did something bad. You did something I need to talk about. Like, I need to vet it out. Y'all my community. We here for each other, you know? So, yeah, I don't blame her for that. But that would be a reason why I would... Well, honestly, I would not mind. Because even before I was an influencer, we're using that very lightly. Because I just hit 5,000 subscribers. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate you. Go check out my merch, okay? Keep on subscribing. Tell your friends. Like this video. Follow all these creators and me, honey. So, yeah, I don't really consider myself an influencer. But I feel like after years go by and I'm still doing this and I get up there in the numbers, you know, people know who I am, you know. Look at that. Yeah, fantasy world. Before I was on this app, before I was on YouTube, on this website, on this platform, girls already talked about me. Like, literally already talked about me. Like, people will see me in public and be like, oh, I'll look on my job. Like, oh my goodness, I heard about you, girl. I'm like, what you hear? Because they ain't lying. They ain't lying, girl. They tell y'all put it down, slap it down, flip it over, rub it down. You know, so I don't think I would mind somebody talking about me on the internet, you know, that I'm dating, because I don't think I would really mind, you know, as long as it's all good. And even if it's bad, I got a few people that'll be like, oh girl, she lying. That one right there, you ain't gonna find another like that one right there. Oh, you got a date with her? Oh, that says a lot about you. So yeah, I don't think I would mind, but I still don't think I would date an influencer because I know what their life is like. Everything is content. So yeah, yeah, that's the thing about when people love bomb you on an app. It's like they don't realize that you have a life. Like, you're an adult. You're adulting. You have things to do. You're busy. They feel like, oh, well, I can make time to look at my phone, because usually they're already on their phone because their phone is their life's content creator. They feel like, oh, they're not replying back, so I'm not going to put in effort. They're wasting my time. And it's just like, no, we're adults. We have lives. We're adulting. We got jobs. We like to sleep, like all this other stuff. So yeah, no, I feel you on that one, friend.
I've been on 2 dates with this guy, and on the first date, I knew I wasn't instantly attracted to him, but I really ended up loving our conversation. It was easy to talk to him. I felt understood. I felt like we were on the same page. Now, however, I did have a few icks on this first date come to the surface. First ick. Where we went was a bar that also serves food. So we were sat at a table where one side is a booth seat and the other side is just a normal chair. And when we got there, he just immediately went and took the booth seat. Didn't ask me if I had a preference. Did not offer me the booth seat. So I took the uncomfortable wooden chair. Second ick of that night was every time a server, a restaurant worker, staff member came over, whether it was to refill waters, bring over a plate of food, take our order, etc. I have a habit of always saying thank you, no matter what it is that they're there for. He never said thank you to the staff once. They'd come over and refill water and I'd say thank you, and he would either just keep talking or just like wouldn't even look in their direction. Now, mind you, he was a little stiff, maybe even someone would say a little awkward on this first date, so maybe he was just really nervous, but I don't know why I'm making excuses for him. Check comes, I offer to split it, he says no, he's got it, we leave, walks me to my car. We don't kiss. He texts me when he gets home, asks that I got home, checks in with me, texts me the next day, follows up, we're texting back and forth for over like the next week or two, and then ends up eventually asking me out on a second date. Now we're back to green flags because he asks me what my weekend looks like, and this was just the weekend of Valentine's Day that just passed. And I was really busy. I had stuff going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I said, Saturday, I'm in rehearsal from 12 to 2. And he goes, okay, well, let's do lunch at 2:30 and let's pick somewhere close by to your rehearsal. So green flags for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's doing the work to fit himself into my schedule. He must really want to see me. That's cool. I like that. He said he wants to go grab lunch and then find a place where we can go walk around afterward. I love the initiative. I love the date planning. He picks a restaurant I've never been to before. I meet him there. We have lunch. We talk. Talking is great. Really like talking to him. And I think I like talking to him because I think he's smart. And I think it's making me realize I haven't dated very many smart guys, maybe none at all. And there's been a disconnect with a lot of the other guys I've dated in terms of I'd have to explain things to them, or they just wouldn't see things the way I saw things. And I didn't really learn much from them. So yes, I really enjoy the exchange of thought with this person. Now at the end of lunch, the check comes. Mind you, this is the day after Valentine's Day, and when I sat down at the table with him, he wished me happy Valentine's Day. I didn't know if the intention was for this date to be like a Valentine's Day date. He didn't flat out say that, so I don't know. But anyways, the check comes. I, again, offer to be polite. Would you like to split it? This man pauses and goes, sure. And I'm deflated because that was the wrong answer. I understand some women feel empowered by splitting the checks on their first, second, third dates with men. I do not. I like a man to express interest in me by going out of his way to pay for the dates that he invites me on. Also, this man proceeds to drop an Amex Gold card onto the bill tray, which just made me look at it and go, now why the hell are we splitting this check when you just dropped an Amex Gold card? But okay. But I don't complain. I don't say anything. We go on our little walkie walk afterwards, and it's so bad. And it was a pretty lengthy walk, about 2 miles, I'm guessing, and we had great conversation throughout, I think. Then we get back to the street that the restaurant is on, but mind you, we are still a ways away from the restaurant. We are up at the top of a hill. The restaurant is near the bottom of the hill, and he asks me, oh, by the way, where did you park? So I tell him I had parked behind the restaurant. And so I go, oh, where did you park? And he says, oh, well, we're about to walk up to my car right now. So he had parked next to the curb on the side of the street right there. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so it kind of felt like he was saying we're walking up to my car, so it's time for this to end. And he doesn't offer me a ride to my car, which is all the way down the hill and around the corner behind the restaurant. Doesn't offer to say like, hey, do you want me to walk you to your car? Like I can, maybe you can give me a ride back to my car. Nothing of that is offered, communicated. So he's also not even making a move to like give me a hug or to like say goodbye. He's just kind of like stiff and standing there. So I make the move to go hug him goodbye. And obviously it's in my head that, okay, we still have not kissed. We'd not kissed on the first date. And as I'm pulling away from the hug, he is just staring at me. And it was quite awkward. So I'm like smiling like a little sheepishly. And I felt like it was a little obvious that he, like, why else would he be staring at me other than it's probably in his head that he like was interested in kissing me, but like had no idea how to initiate it. So to cut the awkward tension, I just leaned in for a really quick, hard peck kiss, like closed mouth. And after that, I turned around to leave. I was like, okay, bye. And as I was turning away from him to walk away, like back to him, I can't even see his face anymore. He starts like stumbling over his words. He's like, oh yeah, we'll hang out again. Like we'll talk soon again. And then he like reaches for my waist, like my hip, as I have my back to him. But like, obviously I'm on the move. So he just kind of puts one arm, kind of touches my hip, but doesn't commit to it. And then like I'm walking away, so he doesn't touch it for very long. So I strut off and I make my way back down the frickin' hill to my car by myself. Now, he knew that I was going out that night with a friend, so I'm not that surprised that he didn't text me that night. But then Sunday rolls around, I still don't hear from him. Would have been nice to get like a, hey, how was your dinner with your friend? And then Monday rolls around and I still hadn't heard from him. So I was just in my head about everything that had gone on in the situation at whole. And between the not paying for the lunch, not making a move to kiss me or hug me, not offering to walk me back to my car, not texting me after the date, it was all just giving me signs that he's just not very interested in me. And I'm at a phase now where I think I'm impatient now. I'm 30, I've been single a while, and I just would rather nip things in the bud than let them fester and turn into a situationship sort of thing. Like, let's be clear about what we want. We're all adults here. So I decided to take it upon myself that I'm like, I'm not happy with waiting for him to text me. So I text him and say, hey, I just wanted to say I really like talking to you. I feel very understood. I feel like I learn a lot in our conversations. I get the vibe that you're not really interested in me romantically, so I would love to keep hanging out as friends if you'd be okay with that. And I get a text back and it says, no, I'm interested romantically. I didn't mean for it to come across like I'm not, with like a little like grimace face emoji. I'm like, man, you could have fooled me. Like, tell me where you showed me that you were not trying to come across like you're not interested. So I go, oh, okay. Haha. But like, what else am I supposed to say? If you say so, but you like me, well, it could have fooled me. And then he comes with like a little bit, like maybe the smoothest line he's had so far. And he goes, well, let's go out again now that we're on the same page here. I'm like, okay, I see you trying to get a redo on this date maybe. Granted, it took me a long time to respond because at first I was like, I don't know what to say. Because I'm in my head all the time. So I finally respond like late in the night or late in the day. And I just go, okay, sounds like a plan. Haha. That was Monday night. As I film this, it is Wednesday night. It's actually Thursday morning, early wee hours. And I have not heard from this man. There has been no follow-up text, no just like, hey, how's your week going? What are you up to? Here's a funny story about something that happened to me today. Like, let's talk about this next date we're gonna plan to go on. What are you doing this weekend? I've got nada. And I was rooting for this man. I really was, I wanted it to be more than skin deep. I really liked talking to him. It was refreshing. But y'all, if he can't even show up for me the way I need him to show up for me, like, what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do? It discombobulates the mind.
When she was first going over her ex, it was just like, girl, we can't be that picky. Like, he didn't ask you if you wanted to move. Like, I understand it would have been like a little annoying, like, but honestly, I feel like I would have just scooted in the booth or made a comment like, this chair's too hard, scoot over or something, or you want to switch me. I'm at this age now, and with all this experience and knowing me, I don't ever bite my tongue. Oh, I used to be a people pleaser, but no, now you hear me. I am so blunt, so forward. I used to be like, I can't be too honest with people because people say they want honesty, but they can't handle honesty. They cannot handle it. So I would just be like, okay, I don't got nothing nice to say, so let me not say anything at all. But no, I would have said something. And with the not saying thank you to the serving staff, the waiting staff, I feel like I would not have really, it's like I would have probably made a mental note of it. But how you make up for that when you're showing that you're thankful of your service is with a tip. That's how you make up for that. You cannot say thank you the whole entire time. If I'm your waitress, you cannot say thank you the whole entire time. But at the end of the day gotta end with a big fat check, honey. I need that big tip. Like I know I did my big one. I know I always do. I know I did great. So yeah. And then what was the other ick? Oh yeah, the ick about the paying part. Girl, why you offered? Cause I wish I would offer to split a check when you asked me out on a date. That's funny. That's hilarious. That check would have came and I would have looked at it and looked at you like, you gonna get that, right? Cause I'm not. I'm just an honest person. If I ask you out on a date, of course I'm gonna pay for it all the time. Like, no question about it. As soon as the check come, bam, money. There you go. Come back. You know, like, no, in fact, keep the tip. Keep the change. Keep it. So yeah, no, I'm not. That's crazy to me that she offered and then got mad when he was like, yeah, we should split this. What you mean you mad? Because you wasn't expecting it? Well, don't be nice and offer. That's like being in my house. That's like being at my house, having some food, and then offer somebody if they want some. And then get mad because they say yes because you at my house. If it looks good and it's anybody at my house and you offer, you best believe they're gonna say yes. Let me have some. Like, that'd be so silly of me if I asked anybody in my family if they wanted some, and when they say yes, because I know they are, I get mad because they say yes. Bruh, that's wild. But the walking thing after the date, walk 2 miles, I'm like, you gonna have to feed me again, because what are we doing? I'm not about to walk somewhere. I just walked off my food. This time you gonna have to pay for me to get a snack. That was real wild, friend. That y'all walked to his car. He was like, so what you gonna do? I've had that happen to me before. And I was just like, so you gonna drop me to my car, right? Because what are we doing? Like, that's really wild. The most gentleman thing he could have done was to offer to walk you to your car or just drive you there. It was that simple. I know some people don't like to drive people and let them in their car because their car be so nasty. And sometimes I'd be like, I don't want to get in your car. I'd be sitting over there like this by the door. I don't even want to sit on that. I gotta sit this booty back in my car. My car clean, honey. You ever been in a car like that? Oh, that's so nasty. But yeah, friend, I remember the last video I was just saying about they didn't text you right back because they busy. But this was a different situation because she actually texts back again, and was just like, okay, so clearly he wasn't into me. And he's like, no, yeah, I am. And it's just like, no, you weren't. Because if you were that into her, you would have responded back. I just felt like that. Like the other guy was like, okay, yeah, I was busy. That could have been the conversation right there. Like, oh yeah, I was just busy. If he had a problem with the other guy not responding back before he ghosted him, he should have been like, why it took you so long to respond back? Because females be saying that to me all the time. Why it take you so long? I'm a busy girl, honey. Busy. Like, if you can't wait for me, this ain't gonna work. So yeah. I don't know what that was about because that was weird. He was into her and it's just like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. Honestly, he might have found somebody else, boo. It's okay. Go on with your life. Because before it was like, ooh, no standards. Girl, we nitpicking now. Like, but with guys, and it's so funny because this is young baby at one of my jobs. I think she's 16, 17. And she was like, this guy keeps on coming in. I think he likes me. He be smiling. He only come in when I'm here. He know I'm here. And I'm just waiting for him to ask me out. I was like, girl, stop giving these guys that much credit. They are not that smart. They're not that proactive, boo. You have to literally guide them through this stuff. Like, especially at that age, boo, you have to be like, hey, I like you. You should take me out on a date. You have to walk them through this, honey. Girl, so yeah. Yeah, boo. I don't think he like you like that. Like enough to not have to be guided, hold the hand through the whole situation. So yeah, follow all these creators, like this video, and subscribe. Do this again. Subscribe